Hello, nerds, and welcome. We are Crossing the Nerdverse, bringing you yet another episode. My name is Travis. I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic co-hosts, Eric and Clark. We are again without Ryan this week. They are still experiencing several natural disasters stacked on top of one another, to include flash floods, fires, lightning strikes, gale force winds, all of the fun things that decided to happen in the end of June, beginning of July. So internet and cell phone service for them is still very patchy. Hopefully he will get to rejoin us soon. And to everyone in Ruidoso, we hope things start bouncing back and getting to normal. I know there's quite a bit of rebuilding to do, so our thoughts are with you and good luck. But on to happier and brighter news. We're going to do our reading, watching, playing, and we will start with Eric this time.
You picked me because I brought a book. So I know the people listening can't hear this, but the people watching can, or the people listening can't see this. But I'm holding up the first wall.
We're starting off real strong with our speaking abilities on this
weeks.
one. We're starting off so strong.
But it's a pretty good book. Warhammer is definitely a different read, and I would highly recommend not starting with a random book. I just did it because I wasn't sure if I'd like it. But it's very confusing because it's literally in the middle of like the siege of Terra.
That's the tail end of the Horus Heresy, is the siege of Terra. You're starting at the end.
You didn't pick like the beginning of the series. You're just like, hell yeah, book 20.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's all they had.
40, but
it's all they had. So I was like, I gotta read one. So I just bought it, and I was like, I'll check it out, give it a shot. I'm watching Acolyte, and unlike everybody else, I actually am enjoying it. Yes, there are some stuff about it that's a little, but the last episode wasn't too bad. I definitely think it's gotten better as it's gone along. I don't think it's getting...
that it's not too bad means it really is that.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I've enjoyed it.
Bad, it means it's that bad.
I don't think it's like life altering, but I don't think it's bad. Like, I've enjoyed it. I watch it when it comes out.
It's really lazily written.
I do think there's some things in it that could be better, but with the amount of like Star Wars and everything else they're doing at the same time, I'm impressed. Like, they're doing better than I thought. I thought all the shows were going to be a lot shittier. So they've definitely beat my expectations. And then I've been playing the game that is similar to Destiny because I've been wanting to try it, which was First Descendants?
Yeah,
something like that.
That is such a ripoff of Destiny. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even think they tried to change the emblems. It's and I think there's a gun that almost looks identical to one of our guns.
Yeah. So I
mean,
tried
if it's
that.
Not broke, don't fix it, right? They'll just release y'all's shit. No problem.
So I've been trying that just because I wanted to give something a go. That was a little bit different. But yeah, it's definitely... You get the vibes like right away. You're like,
Eric
yeah,
out there playing Temu Destiny.
Yeah.
But so who's next? Yeah.
Let's go, Clark.
Reading. I've just been reading a ton of baby books, so no fun spice for me. It's all about bedtimes and tummy time.
Being a good parent.
Just give him a little ZzzQuil and let him go.
I mean, my motto is light trauma, decent financial stability. So that's what we're aiming for.
Just you wanna give them that balance to where the trauma turns into humor.
Yeah,
that's what happened with us, and now look how great we are.
I was like, I don't want him to have no humor. But between Chris and I, there's no way this child is not a sarcastic, mild asshole. So we got that covered. And then good. Watching the new seasons of anime have started up, so I've been poking around. I've watched an ungodly amount of isekais, and I had hope for one. It was I watched it yesterday. Who is the little guy who they're like OSHA compliance officers? What are they called? Thank you. Quality assurance. It was quality assurance in another world. Chris is just yelling at me because I was like, I just watched this other dumb anime. It's quality
First, like,
assurance
you
in
made me
another.
watch it too.
I did. I was like, this one could be like Vendy-kun. It was not. It's not as good.
It's just
Um,
bad instead of funny bad.
yeah, first episode not enthralled as much as I wanted to be, but there's a lot of good like not trash animes, but like forgetful animes this season. I'm really hoping Failure Frame kind of picks up because I really, really enjoy that manga. I'm not a fan of the animation they did. They did a lot of CGI stuff that I don't like in my anime. Fine. But so far so good. Playing a lot of Wuthering Waves. I'm saving up my pulls because I believe Scar comes out in August and he will be my trifecta of Husbandos for my play squad. It's a horrible comp, but I play Husbandos over meta, so that's what I've been up to.
Call it the thirst.
It's in my phone under a category called Husbando Parking. And it's all of my stupid anime games.
It's so good. That's so good. So I have been reading the 2023-2024 National Electrical Code.
I knew it was going to be boring as soon as you started with the year.
Yeah.
I was like,
It really is a page turner. It's only like 2,000 pages long. Yeah.
Can't even count that high.
It's nothing. You can't even count. Sorry.
That's why it's on book 40.
That was way aggressive. That does explain why you started at the end of a series instead of the beginning. But no, so yeah, that's what I've been powering through off and on, just because it's necessary for me to understand what I'm doing at work, but also like probably the most boring thing ever written. In case you guys ever want to read something useless, just read the National Electric Code.
It'll put me to sleep.
Oh, yes, it will.
I used to use the tax code as Ambien in college. It was great.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably another real page turner. That one's only like 20,000 pages at this point. Tax law.
Yeah.
But I digress. On to funner things. Anime. As far as what I'm watching, I am still powering through One Piece as fast as I possibly can.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm still in Dressrosa. And I've watched the super exciting, like traumatic childhood of the pink-haired chick, Gladiator.
7 times?
Rebecca. Yeah, and I'm like, I get it. Your childhood was sad. So was everybody else's. Like, let's just move forward. Like, Zoro lost a friend. Usopp's dad abandoned him. Luffy got left with a very abusive grandfather and then just kind of chunked into the woods to do whatever. Like, everybody on that show has bad childhood trauma. We get it. You're sad. Like, let's just move on. Like, let's finish this fight and get on with our day.
I'm trying to think of anybody who has, like, a happy background now.
No. Doflamingo.
I mean, was that a happy background?
Everybody that had, like, a good, like... Or whoever had, like, a happy... Not happy life, I guess. Whoever was, like, rich in that show... ends up as a bad guy. Like, there's not a single person who's like, I'm wealthy and powerful and benevolent. All of them are like, I'm wealthy and powerful and skeevy.
I mean...
social commentary. No, so yeah, just
thanks,
still
Oda.
Still powering. And
yeah,
then,
Dressrosa is a slog, so I believe in you.
I've had gamer ADD, and so I've been playing Madden 24 and Final Fantasy 16 and Destiny 2. And Toon Blast on my phone has been really exciting. It's a do-nothing game. It's a block breaker, like, click game. And that's a fun way to kill time. I don't know why I was
thinking, like, Looney Tunes.
I mean, kinda. It's like a bear, a cat, and, like, I think a raccoon or something. I don't know. But yeah, so those are what I've been doing.
Nice.
Yeah. But this week, going to be a slightly shorter episode, I think. We're going to be having fun, opinionated discussions on famous people and what D&D classes we think they'd end up in. I'm gonna go. Honestly, I think we should do it of who they would play, like what character they would play, and then if they were to suddenly transform into a real life D&D character, what class they would be. I think that'd be the most fun.
We're slowly gonna learn that I just don't know famous people's names, so I will be Googling everyone on this.
That's fair. I'm going to start off with probably one of my favorite actors of all time and say Christopher Lee. A lot of you will know him as portraying Saruman as well as Count Dooku. Those of you that are history majors like me may also know that he was part of a heavy metal group, was a special forces operator during World War II.
Okay, now I know
and
who this
had
is.
to educate Peter Jackson on what sound people made when they're stabbed. So
He also saw the last guillotine in France, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that
another
him?
another
Yeah.
cool stat for Christopher Lee. He's just the dopest of dudes. Like, that dude's just rad. Like,
Yeah. I'm curious as to what you're gonna say his class would be though now.
oh,
'cause, like, he's
100%.
such a-
He's 100% multi-class. Like, there's no way he's not.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go fighter. I'm gonna go rogue, and I'm gonna go bard.
Why fighter?
Oh, special forces operator. You have to know multiple tools of the trade.
But-
You also have to be very disciplined, which all falls into the fighter.
Yeah.
But he was
Oh.
also just
Already
a
forgot
rad
the other
dude, so I'm
two.
bard and rogue. Like, the guy's just,
Because I could
dude's
definitely see,
just dope.
Is he a scoundrel though?
I could definitely see like Ranger though, just because of like
rogue
all the
does not
nav.
always mean.
I always
Maybe.
associate rogue with somebody who's gonna like pickpocket me when I'm not looking,
Rogue doesn't
or be
always
like-
mean thief.
No, it doesn't have to
or
mean.
or be like the warlock's like, I need a skull for something, and the rogue's like, as long as you promise me not to ask where I got these, and like pulls out a bag of them. Like, that to me is just ingrained in my brain as
If
a
Christopher
rogue.
Lee was just like, I have a bag of skulls, I wouldn't question it at that
Well-
point. Like, the dude's done enough where I'm just like, you probably have a good reason.
Yeah, such an epic actor.
Yeah, so, yeah, fighter,
Hello.
bard, rogue.
What do you
I
think
feel
his
like an
best
argument
stat
for
would
could
be?
mid-range.
What would his
I mean,
best
he made it
stat?
all the way. He made it through World War II and a whole bunch of other things. I'm gonna say Dex. I'm gonna go Dex.
I'm
which
taking
it
notes so
degrades
I can
over
rate the
time. So
level.
like as you get older, right, your stats change. So things like wisdom and intelligence actually get a boost, while things like strength, constitution, and dexterity go down. Which is why when he was older, he didn't move around quite as much. But to be in a heavy metal band, I assume you have to have some type of dexterous movement.
That's a good one. I didn't even think of him. Even in our pre-show, I didn't think of him.
Christopher Lee's the dopest. Like I said, that's just the raddest dude on the planet. Like, he makes
Yeah.
the most interesting man from the Dos Equis commercials look like a fool.
That is such a good one.
Hi, Jenkins,
See, I always
bud.
thought Audie Murphy was pretty interesting.
Audie Murphy,
Yeah.
Barbarian.
You think
Audie
so?
Murphy or Eddie
100%.
Murphy?
Audie
Or are these
Murphy.
two? I was like, are
World
these
War
two
II
different
hero.
people? Okay.
Two different. They're both actors though.
Audie Murphy was not a good actor.
I didn't say he was good. He was much better at killing things.
Yeah.
Like the car Audi?
A-U-D-Y, I believe is how you spell it. A-U...
Oh, dude, don't ask me.
Yeah,
I'm not spelly enough. But he's actually like so awesome. Like they made an award for him, like in the military. He's like a board and everything that you got to go
You
to.
get an Audie Murphy board that you have to go to.
Barbarian.
100%.
Yeah, I could see it. I guess his rage and stuff like that. Because he got
Murphy.
shot a few times too, didn't he?
I got shot a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got fucking lit up a
He
few
was from
times.
Texas.
I mean,
You're welcome.
yeah, I would imagine. Like, I tell everyone, Texas. That. Well,
You just
his
say
he was,
Texas
he
to
was the
people?
most decorated soldier of World War II.
To be
Yes.
fair, in all these pictures, he's got a lot of pins.
Oh, dude
Yeah,
did it all.
Yeah.
His highest stat, oh man.
Oh, it had to be Constitution. That guy got
yeah.
shot a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
50 cents stat also Constitution, because that guy survived being shot.
And I am actually gonna roll and make some of these characters later.
Just gonna make
out of
Audie
curiosity.
Murphy. Just
Yeah, I
do it.
am. I'm just gonna make. I got like D&D Beyond up right now, and I am gonna actually make. Do you think Christopher Lee and Audie Murphy would still be human if you had all the races available?
That's a weird
Probably
question.
not. Like, would I roll them as human?
I would Audie, because that gives him an additional feat, which explains why he was such a battle-decorated dude, is because he could do more.
See, I would
don't
do
think-
either that or dwarf.
I mean, Dwarf gets the Constitution boost, but I think I would do him, because he wasn't that short. I think I would just give him baseline human. Get that extra
Yeah.
feat.
Christopher Lee, high
Elf.
elf. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
especially with that long lifespan and able to still do all the different things that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was
J.R.R. Tolkien, wizard.
Why wizard? I'm sorry,
Developed
I'm
and
very
wrote-
tired and I just can't think, so you're gonna have to explain all of these to me.
Developed and wrote his own language.
That's fair.
integrated a very well-structured societal story into all of his writings. Was
I
very
guess you could
methodical
say.
and researched. All of that, to me, just screams wizard.
Guess you could say he transported people to a magical place.
That would have been a good one. That'd have been a fantastic one. Yeah. You better watch out, my finger guns are loaded.
So sleepy.
Um,
I could see that.
All right, Clark, pick
Not Druid?
No.
What? No.
Why? What about Tokun's life says druid?
I don't know. I'm
Oh.
looking at
What a fantastic argument you just made. Thank you.
I mean, obviously he could shape change, but like the dedication,
Well, yeah.
the studying, everything like that, like
Yeah, but I don't think he was like a nature dude. Steve Irwin, 100% druid.
Steve Irwin, 100%, 110% druid.
Like,
If being a druid were a superpower, it'd definitely be Steve Irwin.
with low constitution.
No, he fell to a critical hit.
he just had
He got
one
critted.
bad roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, because he was in the water, and that actually lowers your dex save. Because he doesn't have a swim speed as a human.
I thought he was on
That's
a
true.
boat, wasn't he?
Susceptible to the crit. No,
How
he
do you
was in the
get-
water.
He was in the water.
Yeah, he got killed by a stingray.
No, I know he got killed by a stingray. I
Yeah.
thought they brought it up on the boat and he was doing his usual thing where he was.
No, I think he was in
Uh,
like chest deep water. I want to say. Maybe I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
It was like one of those freak accident, like 100% freak accidents where it just happened to poke him at the very right spot.
Yeah.
Crit.
So like 100% like nat 20 roll for the stingray. Or like, actually, I'm thinking it was a nat 1 and the stingray like tripped and fell and stabbed. Like, you know, those ones where you're just like, oopsies, and you throw your
See,
sword?
I go
I
crit.
Hmm.
Double
I go-
damage.
I go crit for the stingray, and then Steve Irwin happened to have very low saving throws. So like a crit followed by some natural ones on Steve's part, and that's what led to it.
I'm just
As we
thinking
make a mockery of
egregious.
probably the greatest like
I know.
conservator in history.
Just all around the person who I learned the most from animals from,
Yeah,
and probably
look
like
at
joy of life.
Yeah, I look at Steve Irwin, and I was like, you were just a good dude. Like,
His kids also, I can't remember his kid's name right now. I follow him on Instagram.
I think it was like Bindi, and I forget his son's name. Probably something like plays like Robert.
Yeah, I'm so bad with names.
Oh, I think it is Robert Irwin. I enjoy him. I have to think of a celebrity, a famous person. Taylor Swift's probably a bard.
100% bard.
Warlock.
Lawful evil. She's not a warlock.
She's
I don't
charismatic.
I don't even think she's lawful evil. She's just super
I was like-
charismatic.
I'm gonna ask you why you think it's warlock, and you can't say I don't know,
Okay, so
because I get to be the brain dead one this episode. We've agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that
so
was a
Steve
pre-
Irwin's son is named Robert, so I like my shot in
Okay.
the dark was correct.
Nice.
no,
I'm trying
feel
to
like
think
she's
of
got
who
to
I-
deal with. She's got to deal with somebody. That's why she blew up the way she did.
Technically, you can make a deal with a supernatural being and not end up a warlock.
Yeah.
But I
But
also
I was
think
like-
she's just,
Her
I think
voice,
she's
like-
just an exceptional bard. But she's always been a good singer, even when she was doing like country music.
Well, her
Many moons
voice
ago.
wasn't always that good. Like once she
Well,
started getting
that's-
auto-tuned, it
that's
was
called
good.
puberty.
Yeah,
Like,
Your voice
You're-
changes.
yeah, your voice continues to develop as you age.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you look at who's the other blonde lady who was Hannah Montana,
Miley Cyrus.
Her
Cyrus.
voice is wildly different now than it was when she
she
started.
also though she had a lot of problems though. Like she had
You know
actual
what-
like health things, not just like getting older.
When
Is
she
why
talks,
her voice went that way.
she sounds like, you know, when a pug starts to like get too excited and that's how Miley Cyrus's voice sounds. She's like, I was like, ooh.
I have apparently not heard her not sing in a very long time, if that's what it reminds you of. But also, I can only think of the pug who was used to like record monster noises in a recent video game.
It's a fantastic animal for it. Pugs are just
Yeah, he just
Weird.
like snorts and truffles,
Yeah.
sniffles. I'm trying to think of who I actually think would be a warlock. Dick Cheney? I feel like he made a deal with the devil.
I thought maybe he was the devil, and I think
No, that's the Patriots' old coach.
Oh,
Bill
Bill
Belichick.
Belichick.
Yeah.
Is
He
the actual
100%.
devil?
Yeah.
I
Have
feel
you
like
not
he
seen
may have
that
made a deal
SNL
with the
skit?
devil.
Oh, the SNL skit's funny for that one.
Tom Brady's a warlock. You don't get that good at football without selling your soul.
And also be decently, ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, also
And
be
never
handsome and
age.
married to a supermodel. Yeah, and still look the same at 52
Yeah.
after having a 40-year NFL career. I'm
Okay,
gonna go
those...
Tom Brady warlock. I'm hammering that one in. Like that's it.
All right.
There's our warlock.
He probably has a lot of low stats too. That would be one character that had
Brady?
like some really shit rolls.
Tom
Because
Brady.
like he didn't have the strongest arm.
I'm gonna
like-
go Dex and Intel.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, Dex
Like,
and
and
Intel.
his charisma, like he pumped stats into his charisma as he went along.
I don't even think
like-
he's that charismatic. I think he's just all Dex, all Intel.
Dude, he's pretty fucking funny when he does interviews and things like that, and the way he calls out the NFL and different things. Like I actually he's like Peyton Manning, but a step down. I actually really
Step
like
down from
his
Peyton.
live.
What,
Like
'cause
in the
his
sense of like
forehead's smaller?
his live when he does like interviews and different things like that, like they're not
I was
quite
gonna
as good.
say Peyton Manning's pretty good on camera. He's got
Yeah.
some of my favorite like SNL skits, and
God, he's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Peyton Manning, like his charisma is like up there, and like Tom Brady's getting there. Like his stuff's pretty good. Like once he left the Patriots, his stuff got really good. That's what I'm saying. Like
well,
as
because
he
I think he
leveled
could
up,
say
pumped
things
into,
without getting in trouble.
he pumped
Gronkowski.
stats into charisma. Gronkowski's highest
Bar-
stats charisma.
Barbarian.
Intel, low charisma,
He's
low
Gronk.
wisdom.
He's
Yeah, his
Is-
charisma's through the roof.
See, I
Is
don't even think
he-
it's
Oh,
all-
he
Vo-
did.
Vox Machina's Barbarian's name is Gronk as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then yeah, that's 100%. I think a 1-to-1.
Yeah, Rob
Comparison.
Gronkowski,
Moving
100%
into an
barbarian.
actual D&D character would be.
I mean, if that character came
I'm-
out and was like Tide Pods, I
he-
would believe it.
If Gronkowski sat down and made a D&D character, he would 100% make a barbarian.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, is a barbarian.
Big guy
plays a
smash
barbarian.
thing? Hell yeah. Melee monkey brain. I can say
I feel
that
like
because I
Christopher
am
Lee
one.
would create like a wizard. I think because we skipped over him when we were talking about what class
Oh,
he
what
would
he'd
play.
create?
Yeah,
I
I
think
feel like
so,
he would
too.
go wizard because he lived the other life. He's been a rogue and a fighter and possibly a ranger.
And I feel like he
several other
probably
things.
had some fun doing Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like if he could make that real, I
I
would.
think
I would jump
think
at that.
he met J.R.R. Tolkien too. In point of fact, I think he may have actually known the man.
Yeah, because
Something
he
like
was.
that.
Yeah,
He's like,
ancient.
oh yeah, that's not what he meant there when he was.
Yeah, we used to chill. Like what the
Yeah.
like?
When I got him drunk at the bar, he would tell me about these tiny hobbitses. Okay. Who would be a sorcerer?
Who would be a sorcerer? That's a good question.
Who's got good bloodline? Who's got like mega nepotism?
The
Bronny
Kardashians.
James.
Oh, I would. Yeah.
Bronny James.
Oh my god.
Super nepotism.
Let's not talk about that one. I don't want to get canceled if we ever get famous because that shit'll happen. You're good, Bronny. I like you.
I did not spell his name right.
That dude got 3 points in one game and 5 in the.
Yeah, but his dad can ground him for doing bad.
Well, he
Wait,
better
now they
get
play on
on
the
it.
same team.
He better. Like, I'm not mad they got him, but if I was a Lakers fan, like, I would be upset they used a draft pick on him.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
that's my one thing. Like,
He also has like one of the most elite rookie contracts I have ever seen, and like I think during the summer camp he's been averaging like 4 points a game.
the 2 games I know of, he had 3 points in one and 5 points in the other.
4 points a game.
I don't know if I'd want to
That's
play
it, like,
professional
that's-
sports with my dad. Like,
I mean, it worked out for Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., but Ken Griffey Jr. was like by far the superior athlete to his dad.
Yeah.
Like he was
Like,
so
I-
much better.
I think you'd have to be the better of the LeBron or like the Jameses.
Well, if
Yeah.
you look at it, like, Jordan's kids couldn't even get into the league. He was the best all time. They tried. He averaged less than 3 points a game.
Hi, Jenkins'
college.
ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of some athletes now, like what they would be.
Terry Crews.
I guess an athlete, at one point athlete.
Yeah, he was a
Uh,
professional football player. He's a
what did
bard.
we-
He's a bardbarian. He's a multi-class barbarian bard. Bardbarian.
I could believe a barbarian.
Yeah, oh, his acting, his singing is so good. Like,
It
His
is.
dancing
Yeah.
is very good. Yeah.
It's fantastical. Hey.
oh, dude, he's so, and he's stupid strong. Like everything he's in is so good. Like his characters are always funny.
He's in my favorite trash movie of all times, which is White Chicks.
Expendables?
So
White
Oh.
Chicks.
no, White Chicks.
Expendables
Oh,
is a trash movie. God,
It
but
is
I
a
love
trash
it so
movie,
much.
but-
It's like the
But-
best dumb action movie ever. And I
Yeah.
watch it. I watch it so often.
Yeah. There's no fucking storyline or anything to that. It's just shoot shit. Bigger guns, bigger deaths.
Sylvester
Speaking-
Stallone, low charisma bard.
yes.
He's a
Ooh.
bard
Ooh.
that dumped his charisma
No.
stat.
I don't know. I would say high charisma learned the wrong language. So like he's very charismatic. You have no idea what the fuck he's saying.
Because of the facial paralysis.
It's like he picked some off language, and everyone's like,
Which-
nobody speaks that here, but he refuses to speak common.
It's yeah, we sound like we're ragging on him. I actually really like Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
fucking
Rocky
love him.
movies.
I will watch whatever that
Yeah.
man decides to be old in. I can't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
what his new TV show is, or I say new.
Tulsa King.
Yes, I really liked that.
Yeah, I did too. Like it got like bad reviews, but I was like, this isn't awful. Like this isn't the worst
Yeah.
television program that's came out in recent memory.
No.
I liked that one.
Pete, what would you guys put
Um,
Pete Davidson?
Well, obviously a bard and a rogue.
I don't-
Well, a rogue.
No,
I wouldn't even do
I
bard.
wouldn't.
I would definitely
I
do
wouldn't
rogue.
do.
Warlock. The man's a warlock.
You think? I think he's so.
yeah, dude. Which
suave.
watch out. Again, warlock, high charisma stat. We've talked about this numerous times.
Yeah.
Warlock's stat is charisma,
I know.
Yeah,
which he's single again, so watch out because he'll steal your wife.
He will actually.
The Rizzler is loose.
yeah. I guess I don't know where I would throw comedians. Like if I would assume a comedian was a bard.
The only
'Cause
reason
to
I
me,
say
bard is
warlock is that he
music.
has to have some type of spellcasting ability to land the insanely good-looking women that he's with. Either that, or women really are looking for a funny guy.
I
Or a
think it's
fixer-upper.
The second one. No,
I
I
don't
think
even
it's the
think he's a
second
fixer
one.
upper. I think he's well adjusted. I think
Women
he's
just want
really,
decent, funny guys.
Yeah.
Because if you're laughing, then your eyes are closed, and if your
yeah,
eyes are
and then
closed,
you
you
can't see
can't
how
tell
ugly
what they
Pete
look.
Davidson is. And you can-
I don't think he's ugly. I think he's just an awkward dude.
I mean, he is a comedian. Like, the best comedians are not well-adjusted people. Like,
Yeah, my problem is I don't really like his stand-up.
No,
I
I'm
like
not a big
his
fan.
skit comedy.
his skit
like
comedy
his-
is really good.
His stand-up is always rough to me. Or his
What about?
earlier stuff is good.
I feel like he would play something ridiculous, like a gnome barbarian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just because he does like outrageous, and like
Yeah.
the way his comedy
Yeah.
and stuff is, he would definitely do something out there.
Patton Oswalt would 100% play a monk.
You
Really?
think
I have
so?
that- yeah, I think so. I think that would be the character he creates as a monk. I think he probably also plays D&D. I'm pretty sure he is admitted to
I'm-
playing Dungeons and Dragons
Oh,
on numerous
so
occasions.
many people in Hollywood play D&D.
I was
Like-
gonna say this is a man who got mad over a Star Trek question in his college physics class. He 100% plays D&D.
No question, no doubt in
Gosh.
Clark's mind. It's like there's no question. This man
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I think he might play like a sorcerer or something more magic based.
More magic based. I see. I think he'd
Yeah.
be a monk.
I think he's
Oh,
a caster.
Real
I think he's a
monk.
caster.
Connor McGregor, fighter or monk. Connor McGregor, monk.
Monk
Is he?
fighter, yeah.
Really?
Monk, low constitution monk.
You gotta give him charisma.
Connor McGregor?
Do
No, he's
I?
cocky. Charisma
Yeah.
is not. Confidence and charisma
Yeah, I
are not
don't-
the same thing.
Sorry.
He's confident. He's
No.
not charismatic. Hi, Jenkins. I heard you rattling the
It's
keyboard.
probably because of my low
Yeah.
intelligence score that I feel like he is charismatic.
He walks around the cage like a gorilla. Is that what he does? He mimics some creature, and it's not.
No, he does the like
Just-
swagger walk.
And like his
Yeah, but I
his
thought he was-
interviews are so good.
I think he
it's
just
not,
shit
he's not
talks.
charismatic. Yeah, he just shit talks. He's got a really he's really confident.
Like all I can think of is the moment when he threw the dolly through the competitor's bus
window?
windows.
Oh,
Like
I think-
that's not charismatic. That's like
No, that's-
barbarian shit.
Barbarian
Yeah.
right there. Like he's barbarian.
He's a strong. Is what
Strong.
he is. He's
I could see
yeah,
that.
he's a monk that went strength over dex.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely barbarian. Like when he rages, it's bad.
Strong.
He's gotten in
He's
trouble
a
a
strong
few
barbarian
times.
monk.
Jenkins
That's also
is
what he would
just-
play.
He'd
Yeah.
play an
D&D
orc though.
100%. Is he not one? I thought he was one in real life.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul?
Would you even give him a thing in Fighter?
No. Bard. Bard monk.
Who pretends to be like?
Bard monk.
Would you give
Oh,
him
Jake
monk?
Paul.
Yeah.
That's his younger brother. I'd probably do just straight monk.
Really?
Yeah, not a high level monk, but just straight monk. Logan Paul, monk bard.
Yeah, he sells it very well. Like with his
High
wrestling.
dex. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
you
wrestling
guys
See,
know
career.
more about them.
He's charismatic.
Yeah, oh yeah, huge.
Yeah. Conor
Absolutely.
McGregor not. Conor McGregor not. Speaking of pro wrestling, here's one that Clark will know: The Rock.
I do know The Rock.
Oh, see,
Uh,
but here's the big question. We all know that he would be multi-classed, but what would he be the highest in? Like, which class would be the highest?
Bard.
Because you think he'd be more than,
Yeah, because he doesn't actually fight.
but like his.
It's all acting.
Yep.
His strength isn't acting.
Just because he has a high strength score does not rule him out as being primary bard. He is strong, 100%. The dude's yoked out of his mind. Steroids help.
But I don't know if it's like practical strength or just like, you know how they do like the body build. Like there's a difference between like those pro power lifters and like physique
difference
competition guys.
Yeah, there's a difference
Like-
between bodybuilders,
Yeah,
power lifters, and then
Yeah.
like the strongman competitors, right? Those are
Like-
three different types of strength because each one of those dudes can put up large amounts of weight, but the way in which they put them up is very different.
And I think it's like I would never I would take a mixed martial artist master over any type of bodybuilder only for the fact that they can like put their
They
arms.
actually,
that.
Jet Li. So Jet Li made a movie. I don't remember which one it was, where he fought a whole bunch of like big MMA guys.
They were karate people.
No, he fought a bunch of MMA guys. You can see like he did an
MMA
interview
didn't
about this.
exist then.
Well, they were a bunch of like big, heavy dudes. Like they weren't karate. Like they were more like wrestlers or something. But they were bigger dudes. They weren't karate based. And he said that he actually would have had a hard time in real life dealing with them because of the way that like they're like
If
2%
they got a hold of you, you'd be
body
fucked.
fat and shit like that. Like so when he hits them, it wouldn't do as much because of the like body fat and things like that he was talking about.
Body composition, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So like because of things like that, like they're being bigger and things like it'd be harder for him to deal with. Like he could like one-on-one he'd probably, but like dealing with more than one, like he'd have a lot of issues.
I mean, so we still need to classify The Rock. And
I
I'm
know.
saying
I think Bard.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
all bard.
Yeah.
All
Saying
bard?
all bard high strength. And I think he would play like a sorcerer or a warlock.
I kind of feel like we gotta consider
I
like
think he would
Rogue,
play
'cause he was the
paladin.
whole shiesty thing
Ah,
going
that's a
on
good
with
one. Yeah,
Miami or
that's true. That's
Hawaii.
true. What
I said
shiesty thing with Hawaii?
the whole like getting money, him and Oprah that did that thing. Like different people have said things about him. Rogue's kind of an interesting one
I
because
don't
they can be
think-
charismatic and things like that.
It's true, but I don't see him being a rogue because he's not really like. He was sort of. I say he wasn't scammed on that. He just went about that in the wrong way, and he made that apology. He was like, he had like copped to it and was like, went and made it right to the best of his abilities, from what I understand.
Oh, did
So
he
I'm not
actually
gonna
do
say
something? I
rogue.
just know that he apologized and
Yeah.
like people were still like, but nothing's
I don't
happening.
even know what he did.
It's the internet.
Uh,
Everybody's gonna stay mad.
They
I think
collected.
he would play paladin.
I think you play paladin. That's a good.
I
point.
think he has that
Just play paladin.
righteous
That's true.
self-righteousness where he's like, I
Yeah.
will come and save the world because I am.
I can see that. I can see The Rock playing a paladin.
I know because I play paladin. And
You
I'm
are,
trying
yeah.
to think.
With
Who?
poor Chauncey.
Poor Chauncey. I play Oathbreaker paladin, so I go everything in the name of vengeance, and then just start slaughtering.
Who would be like? I'm trying to think of another like paladin-ish person.
Crusader popes.
Crusader popes definitely paladins.
Oh, Bernie Sanders, originally a paladin.
Bernie Sanders is an NPC class.
When he was a little younger.
He's a politician. He's always been a
Yeah.
politician.
Yeah, but he like
He's always been a
really fights
political
for the
guy.
people.
I mean, that doesn't make you a fighter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean like
it's-
he's a fighter. I mean like
I don't know. If I would go Bernie Sanders, I'd probably go Druid. If I was gonna pick a class like D&D class for him, I'd say Druid.
Old Faith, I could see that.
Yeah.
For the
Like,
planet. Maybe that's more
maybe-
Al Gore.
I
Al
could
Gore
also
would be a
see
solid druid.
I could also see Bernie Sanders as like a cleric of Obadiah or one of the old like nature gods from like way back D&D, which he probably played way back D&D. The dude's old as shit.
Yep. Another elf.
Imagine being
See,
born
I'm picking
before
a gnome.
D&D.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the wispy hair.
Now you say
I
that,
don't know
yeah.
why. Yeah, I don't know why. I get a
Yeah.
real gnome vibe from Bernie Sanders.
And
I feel
sometimes
like he
the way
would
he
live in
talked or acted-
live in the earth.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get that. Trying to think of some other cool celebrities. We talked about rock. That led me to another person I was trying to think of. Vin
I'm
Diesel.
Barbarian fighter?
Definitely nothing to do with Bard.
Hey, he was great in like was it Pitch Black and the Riddick series.
I really like
Name one
Riddick.
actor that would do Riddick better than Vin Diesel.
Like the Riddick character?
Yeah.
Jason Statham, but if you could get rid of the accent.
Jason, it's hard to sound. So he can sound
So-
intimidating, but it's hard to sound
Hugh Jackman.
that type of intimidating with a
Hugh
British
Jackman.
accent.
Hugh Jackman could do it.
No, because Hugh Jackman's already Wolverine.
I know, but like if
I
we
don't
didn't
think-
see
I
him
don't
as
think it would've
Wolverine,
been-
he could do
See,
it.
and I don't think he would have been that good.
Um,
As Riddick, his voice gets too expressive. Like the whole point of Riddick is that he's just a little bit dead inside,
A little
Yeah.
bit.
or a lot of bit, like whatever.
what would Riddick be? There's your big one.
Rogue,
Yeah.
all
Rogue fighter.
not even rogue fighter, mainline rogue.
What would his subclass be?
Subclass assassin. And so here's the reason why I go mainline rogue. The couple of times he ends up in a heads up fight, he does not come out great.
Oh,
right?
touche.
His
I'm
best
thinking of-
moments are when he catches things by surprise or hits them in his blind spot, both of which very roguelike traits.
And he hits you in
I-
vital spots a lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the fight he has with the guy where he gets the throne, where he basically can see him do his little spatial shifting and then he pokes him in the head.
Yep.
Spoilers if you haven't seen that,
It's a
Riddick.
20-year-old movie.
Uh,
The problem is like he took advantage. It was a flank bonus because he was fleeing from the other guy. When it was just the
oh,
one-on-one.
that's true.
Yeah, when it was just the one-on-one, he was getting bodied by the. I would classify that dude as a paladin.
Like an evil
Yeah.
one.
With some type of. Well, I mean, paladins can be evil. They can be.
Yeah.
Like paladins don't have to be lawful good anymore. They used to be, which made no sense because I feel like you could be an evil paladin just as much as a good
Dragonlance
paladin.
did it.
I mean, I think you can also just follow a bad deity.
Right,
what would Riddick's highest stat be? You think Dex?
Dex. You
Mhm.
have.
Because
to,
he
like,
was
for
pretty
assassin,
fucking smart, though.
I mean, you can pick intelligence is also an important stat for rogues because you get all the skill bonuses, right?
And
things
intimidation would definitely be one that he
S-
takes.
Stealth. Well,
Yeah.
intimidation's charisma based, but you can also get different bonuses to charisma.
Yeah.
through reputation. He was a very well-known assassin, which
He
makes him
also
scary.
did light armor. Yeah.
Yeah, he did light armor. He also took the feat improvised weapon.
Oh, for sure.
And he'd be
100% had the improvised weapon feat. Oh no, orc, 100% half orc, 100% half orc. Purely because of the times he came very close to dying, he suddenly just kind of like eked his way through, and that's because half orcs get the same bonus as full orcs,
Relentless.
of where you relentless.
Yeah.
When you go down to 0, you pop back up at 1.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go half orc.
And dark vision. He does get dark.
Does have dark vision. That's he 100% has dark vision too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Riddick definitely just 100% rogue. Surrounded by he's like a mid-level rogue surrounded by a bunch of really low-level like NPC warrior class and like thief classes and stuff. Like the one time he fights another actual class, he kind of gets his shit pushed in.
Who would be a tiefling?
any politician.
I feel like that's a charged statement. Not falling for it.
I'm trying to think of who would need
Tiefling.
hellish resistance.
Matthew McConaughey.
Really?
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna pick as the tiefling.
That's an interesting one.
Oh, come on, you guys don't see it with Matthew McConaughey. How many times have people tried to burn him and he just walks out fine? It's because he's got fire resistance. He can make bad movies and come out good on the other side because it's
Charlie
all
Sheen would
all
also be-
right, all right. No, Charlie Sheen's just a drug addict. That's how
Yeah,
he.
but
That's
he's
how
still
he
a
avoids
tiefling.
damage. Is he doesn't feel it.
He's still a tiefling.
Now, Charlie Sheen's dwarf. He gets poison resistance.
I guess, yeah. I'm also getting Matthew McConaughey mixed up with the other blonde guy with a crooked nose.
Owen Wilson.
Thank you, yes.
Owen Wilson, all bard.
All bard.
A very low level bard. I say very low level. Like, character classes don't make you far superior than general NPCs.
Jet Li, nothing in Bard.
No.
Same with Jackie Chan, almost.
Ooh, see, him I would
No,
definitely.
he sings opera.
Huh?
Yeah, he was part of the Chinese opera before he became a movie star. He's got a couple of levels of bard in
I
it.
thought he was picked up from the circus.
Oh. Pretty sure he worked in Chinese opera.
Because I thought he was.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
I'll say. Oh, am I
Patton
getting.
Oswalt
there's,
would be halfling, right?
Yeah, Jackie Chan has sang
Yeah.
at the Sydney Opera House.
Like. Because he was famous or because he was good?
No, he's
Because-
a trained opera singer.
What a weird. When did he pick that up?
It's like D&D. You
That's
just
where
pick
he
skills
started.
up.
He started in this.
I thought he started in the circus and that's where he learned all of his tricks.
No, like he did like Chinese opera because like they have combat opera.
Or maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what I'm just very ignorantly
Yeah,
brandishing
their
as.
opera is way different than Italian opera.
Oh yeah.
Which
oh,
it sounds way cooler if I'm being honest. Like Italian
Maybe
opera
that's what I'm
sounds
just-
super boring.
It's loud. It's good.
So yeah,
but loud.
he
Okay.
100% has levels of bard.
One or two.
Yeah, I'm
Totally.
probably pretty low. I'd say like 1, just to
Yeah.
get the performance boosts for opera singing, and then after that I would go all monk. Bruce Lee 100% monk. Chuck Norris Stronk.
Really?
Yeah,
He couldn't. He was, not a great
he,
actor.
solo monk as far as class leveling goes.
Hmm.
Chose strength over dex
I can see that.
because he was a pretty strong dude in his prime. He's not so much now because he's like 84 now. Like how old is
Patrick
Patrick
Swayze?
Swayze? Corpse. So I guess level of lich. I don't. That was terrible. I feel so bad for making that joke. I don't feel that
Well-
bad, but I feel kind of bad.
Oh, he'd definitely be high level bard.
Also, Chuck Norris would play a paladin too.
Oh, Chuck Norris would for sure play a paladin, and like a real good one.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, he would definitely be a lawful good paladin of
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I got an actor. I'm trying to find him. He played in Batman Begins. He played Alfred. Is it Michael Caine?
Michael Keaton? No.
No, is it? I know his last name's Caine.
Michael Caine
Yeah,
played
that's a
Alfred.
paladin.
Alfred? Like the
Oh,
character
Alfred
from
himself's
Batman?
a paladin.
Fighter.
Yeah, Alfred likes guns.
Fighter.
That doesn't mean he's not a paladin because he likes guns.
I
Fighter.
know, but yeah, I'm gonna go fighter.
I'm only
Hey.
fighter.
I don't think
he treated Batman like a deity almost. Like
No.
No. He's
He.
like the one
he-
person that keeps Batman anchored in reality.
Yes, thank you. I was like, he shit on Batman several. He was very snarky to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, like when he's trying to
Do
tell him
you
to
even
push
lift?
the log. Yeah, he's like, what's the point of all those push-ups if you can't lift up a single beam, nerd?
And like in the comics, he's very fucking sassy.
Yeah, he's
depending on which ones, yes.
all
my
of
favorite
most of them is him being pretty sassy to Batman.
And just in general, he's like, you might believe that I have the same predisposition for avoiding guns, but I've hidden them around the manor, and then just
Yeah.
like goes off with a shotgun.
Shotguns.
That like,
Yeah, when he's there alone and like the Joker's minions break in,
Yeah.
and he just blasts like 4 or 5 of them.
it's like, would you like tea?
Here's one I'm gonna go with, and this is gonna be follow along because this is gonna get complex. Gary Oldman, Rogue Bard.
You
with
look him up, you'll know.
I know.
With the Arcane Trickster subclass for Rogue, and his base race is
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons Changeling, because that dude has been in so many movies that I didn't realize that was Gary Oldman until way after the fact. Like,
That's
if at some
true.
point I sneeze and like a little bit of my face slips off and it just turns out I've been Gary Oldman this whole time, I'm not going to be shocked. Like,
Dude,
I'm
yeah.
not going to be surprised. Like, my baby's going to whip off a mask one day and it was Gary Oldman the whole time. Like,
yeah, he's got a lot of Master of Disguises.
yeah, that dude likes that Changeling %. I will broker no argument. I'll fist fight on this one.
Johnny Depp full bard.
Full bard. And then some type of race that gives him poison resistance. So possibly also tiefling, because he does a lot of him and what's the
Keith Richards?
Keith Richards. Also
Undead
tiefling.
Lich. He's a lich. He's like a
Robert
wizard.
Downey
Now he's
Jr.
a lich.
That's a strong possibility that he's a lich.
Robert Downey Jr. all bard tiefling with poison resistance.
Yeah.
Rogue. He'd have some rogue
No.
from his younger years. He got
No,
his, like,
thief background.
Hmm.
Thief background. All bard. Thief background.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, let's not.
Okay.
Let's skip that one.
Dragonborn. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be a Dragonborn at this point. So
Who would be a Dragonborn?
Joel Osteen.
Brock Lesnar, Dragonborn, 100%.
Hmm. Yeah,
He also has levels in both Barbarian and Bard.
I don't know how charismatic he is as a person.
He's a really like accomplished professional wrestler, right? Which makes you pretty bardy.
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit like you got it from
Because you have
that.
to you have to be able to act a little bit,
That's
and
true.
like he's pretty good at working off a crowd.
Yeah.
to an
I'm
extent.
just
He's
mad
not
at
super
him.
great at like cutting promos, but definitely
Yeah,
Barbarian.
he's better than average, so you'd have to give him a
He-
level in Bard.
He took the unarmed feat tree though for Barbarian, which is why he can just whoop wholesale ass. Because I wouldn't want to get hit with that dude. It'd be like getting smacked with a frying pan. His hands are huge.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can really fucking fight.
I just
Yeah.
am always still mad at him because I got tickets to the MMA heavyweight title and he lost to Kane in like 30 seconds. I was like,
I
come
still say one of the reasons why he lost to Cain Velasquez so fast is because after that, so he's missing a few feet of intestine, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
he had
got
a
the
lot of
same thing.
problems.
So that's the same thing that happened to Roberto Duran. And after Roberto Duran had that same like deal, his midsection was never the same. And so you just can't take a shot to the gut because your body never recovers.
I think he also just had, and it could have been due to that, where he always starts his fight. He comes out like spearing, almost like a linebacker,
Yeah.
every single time, and I
It's
was like,
because
that's
it's
really
super
readable.
fast.
Yeah, but it's
It's
really
the problem
readable.
is like even it's not that readable. The cage is not as wide as people think. And when you're as fast as Brock Lesnar,
But if
all you
you
have to
know
do
he's
is-
gonna do it,
it doesn't matter. Like so a wrecking ball is gonna swing, right? If you stand in front
Yeah.
of it and know it's coming and it hits you, does it matter?
no, but you just grab and then that's all he did was grab and elbows down, like.
Which I don't
If
think
you
that's
ca-
what
if
ended
you're
the fight.
big
The knee to the
enough-
stomach is what ended the fight.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
all he had to do was grab, elbow down, knee up. Like
But
it's
again,
a pretty
when you're-
vulnerable position.
to an extent until you get your Brock, because what Brock was doing was getting his hands underneath him to pick him up, right, and get him
Yeah,
down
but
to
Cain
the ground.
Velasquez was a huge dude as well. I
Yeah,
don't think it was a good
Brock's the better
strategy.
Brock's the better wrestler. I think Cain Velasquez was a better fighter
Yeah,
overall, as
I-
far as like real life goes.
Well,
I
just
think
because
in
he
the
had more
cage-
experience in the cage.
He didn't have that much more experience at that point.
Mm-mm.
Like he really,
He
his
was still
career was
pretty-
longer. Yeah, he was still pretty
Yeah.
fresh. But yeah,
So
Brock
because-
lost that fight because of the stomach surgery.
Brock,
Because there's just no way to ever recover from that.
I was gonna say Brock only had a few fights, didn't he? In the MMA, he had like less than a dozen. I know that.
I don't know what his UFC record was.
He
I mean,
didn't.
he held a title belt, so he had to at
Yeah.
least have done a few.
That's what I'm saying. Like he had,
Um,
but I don't think he actually like his career was that long at all.
I
in
can't
MMA.
remember if he
Eight
came
fights.
back after
Yeah,
the
see.
title belt.
I know he
Well, he
didn't
had
do
to
Cowboy
that.
vacate.
Cerrone.
Had to Cowboy Cerrone Monk.
I
Yeah,
don't even know who that
I
is.
miss
With
him.
Monk with a low constitution
I loved
and
him.
low wisdom.
Ken Shamrock,
I don't know who that
Barbarian.
is.
just barbarian. No, no
All
charisma.
barbarian. That he just liked to hurt people. Him and Frank both. Like if it hadn't been for professional fighting, both of them would have ended up serial killers, in my opinion. They just enjoyed hurting people.
They were very
Dude,
good at it
for-
too. Like they were
so-
very.
Ken got hurt in a fight, and Frank Shamrock chased the guy that hurt Ken through 3 different promotions and 4 different weight classes. He wanted that guy so bad. Like, that's terrifying. He was like, I lost 50 pounds to fight you. And I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I actually quit this fighting promotion yesterday, so I'm going to Bellator. And he was like, I just signed with Bellator. He's like, I'm going to... Like, Frank Shamrock strikes me as the type of dude that would just pull a knife in the middle of an MMA fight, like, and then not be, like, concerned about it. Like, you just shank that guy, and they're like, what are you doing? And he was like, what? And they were like, that's against the rules. And he was like, there's rules. And then he just stabs him again. Like, seriously. Like, both of those men were terrifying. Like I said, if it wasn't for professional fighting, both of them would have ended up as murderers. Like, I hand to God,
All right.
terrifying men.
One particular thing. Just real quick, if you were making one of these, like we named a lot of people and maybe someone we didn't name, who would you want to play in a D&D game?
Like what
with?
real life human would I like to play? Would I like to play D&D with, or
No, like make the character. I mean, we've done play with before. But like if you were making a character and you had to base it off of like any famous person, anything. Like we talked about, we even included a couple fictional characters, so like
no,
can't be
Christopher Lee?
picky.
Like, I'm just creating Christopher Lee.
I'd go Keanu Reeves. I would make Keanu Reeves. I would make
just-
John Wick. Keanu Reeves.
Just a neutral, good, just down to earth dude.
I'm just duding around murdering people.
Yeah,
I would play the most, honestly, if you created the dude Lebowski, you would create the most boring D&D character ever, because you wouldn't ever want to go on adventures.
yeah, that's a valid statement. I couldn't see him ever.
You'd go bowling a lot.
I'd be Charlie Sheen. Be a crazy character. Be interesting.
Coked out.
He drank tiger's blood too. There's a lot of different things. See,
Yeah, I think that was in reference to him doing massive amounts of crack.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if it was actual tiger blood or a euphemism.
I think it was a euphemism for the amount of drugs
Yeah.
he was doing, which is a
no,
significant
wasn't
amount.
he like stood on like a? Didn't he stand, if I'm not mistaken, at a hotel like on the balcony and like drank it in front of everybody?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm like pretty.
That doesn't sound real. Like, that sounds fake.
All
I'm
I
not
remember
joking.
from Charlie Sheen is twinning.
Twinning.
Huh?
Twinning.
What's twinning?
When he said winning, and like
Yeah.
after he talked about how much cocaine he could do in a day. So yeah, like he, I don't know. I just want to play somebody with psychosis. You can do that with pretty much anybody.
Well, yeah, they did. Okay, so they didn't know for sure that it was tiger's blood, but he was on a balcony drinking red
Drinking.
liquid, and he said it was tiger's blood.
I
So
mean, when you're
I'm
on,
gonna
when you're on a
guess it
whole
was
bunch
like
of drugs,
Code
you can
Red
say
Mountain
whatever
Dew.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, with extra sugar. Well, what thickened it up was the other white powder he was putting in it.
Mhm.
Oh, and when he smoked a cigarette while he was getting interviewed, that was also up there. See, I would have a lot of fun playing a Charlie Sheen character. I think
See,
you'd keep it
I
interesting.
would not
Somebody
want
with
to
a drug
play a
addiction and
campaign.
psychosis.
I would
I
not
would
want to
not wanna
play a
play with-
campaign
yeah.
with a Charlie Sheen character. I'd be like, you are annoying as shit, and you'd probably kill all the merchants, and I'd never
Had a
get to sell stuff.
I had a hard enough time playing with a Sherlock-based character.
Sherlock Holmes?
Ooh.
Yes, because Sherlock Holmes has in the novels, has a massive drug addiction.
Ooh, I
That's a
didn't know
problem.
that.
You haven't read any of the Sherlock? Have you seen any of the shows? He's on heroin. Like,
Yeah,
The only
opioids are
real one
big.
I watched was the.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
ones.
I'm not saying he
I'll
wasn't on
still
drugs. He was on
reference it.
drugs in that one, but
it-
I didn't know he
he's-
had like a problem.
I think he
yeah,
almost-
Sherlock
he
Holmes actively
dies.
smoking opium in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they die, and then he like drugs the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, Sherlock
no,
Holmes
no.
straight up had an opioid addiction in all of the TV shows and novels written by
Yeah,
Sir Arthur
even-
Conan Doyle.
who's your
I
favorite
really-
Sherlock Holmes?
The novel character Sherlock Holmes is probably my favorite. If I
I-
have to pick an actor, I would probably go Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
really
that was a
like
good
the
one.
guy who played. I think it's a TV show called Holmes, but it's with Lucy Liu.
Oh, that's the show Elementary.
Elementary, thank you.
Yeah.
I
His was good. I still say Benedict Cumberbatch was better.
think I like the story from Elemental,
Elementary.
but whatever. I haven't taken all my vitamins.
I liked Will
Um,
Ferrell. One of the few times I actually enjoyed his movies.
When
When
did
was Will Ferrell Sherlock?
play
He,
Sherlock?
he did it with what's his name? The guy he did
Oh,
Brother.
no, that's a parody. That's a parody. It does not count. And Will Ferrell is not funny in movies. He was only funny on Saturday Night Live.
What
I-
movie?
I only
He
liked
made
him
a
in
he
two.
made a parody movie with the curly-haired dumb guy from Talladega
Brothers?
Nights and
Oh.
Step Brothers.
Yeah,
I always forget his name.
I can't.
I
Remember.
have
He
no
actually
idea.
has a lot of range to him. Like if you watch him in Gangs of New York, like he plays a different type of character. Like
I
Wake and
forgot he
Bake,
was in
baby.
Gangs of New York.
like
Mhm.
that dude can act, man. Like people don't give him enough credit because he does so many of those movies where he just kind of plays that like whatever guy. but like he was really good in Gangs of New York.
The best part of Talladega Nights was still the outtakes from the stupid commercial
Yeah.
where they just let Will Ferrell ad-lib stuff was the funniest part of Talladega Nights. Like that part where he goes, "If you don't chew big red gum, then fuck you. I'm here to talk to you about snow blindness and cats." Scares the shit out of us. Like that shit cracked me up. Like that was the funniest part of that movie, and it didn't even make the final cut. Like,
Yeah, that was outrageous. That should have definitely been in the
God,
movie.
yeah.
The whole talk about Jesus too.
I don't know what to do
That-
with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands was very relatable because anytime I'm talking to somebody and I don't know what to do with my hands.
Zoom calls. I'm always just like, because I want to talk with my hands, but my hands aren't high enough, so you can't see me talking with my hands. So I just like start raising them up, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I don't like it.
Yeah, the snow blindness in Cats is probably one of the funniest just ad-libbed lines from that movie.
I always ask Oprah to save me with her witchcraft.
Last
That
one.
was
What's
Tom
Oprah?
Cruise. Oprah? And not a character class. She's an NPC class.
Yeah, I think she just rolled well.
Yeah. If by
No
rolled well,
Warlock?
you mean got I don't think Warlock.
Well, she was
No.
really good in The Color Purple, but outside of that, I don't know
I mean,
what.
she can still have a high charisma score without
Oh, yeah.
necessarily being a character class.
It's true.
She's a level
So-
0, high charisma.
Well, she may be multiple levels of like the NPC classes because you have like politician as an NPC class, you have like various other things as NPC classes. So, which by the way, I once created an epic level commoner in Dungeons and Dragons, and it was probably Ryan's least favorite character he's ever had to DM for because I was a huge pain in his ass. I have to tell this story before we go because it's absolutely amazing and it involves a lot of our listeners. So we were playing in our first epic level campaign. I died. Ryan gave me the option that I could come back at level 19, which is not epic level, or I could recreate at level 24, which is where everyone else was at, as a commoner, thinking that I would just create the level 19 guy and move on. So no, I created a level 20 human, and I took all of the commoner related feats.
And Brad, and you just walked around with your fanny pack.
No, I walked around with a backpack and held stuff. So I took XP farm, which means that if anything killed me, they would have gotten quadruple XP. Anytime I pulled something out of a bag, pack, chest, or pocket, I had a 50% chance of pulling out a chicken, like a live chicken. Because that's a commoner feat. It's called Burdened by Birds. I was also a Weresheep, which is also a commoner feat, which every full moon and or at will, I could turn into a sheep. Weresheep, their sheep. Also increases my movement speed because sheep are faster than humans, which is how I got away from stuff. So I was just like, panic, sheep, run. We then soulbound our assassin rogue monk to a whistle, which meant that I had an emergency whistle to where if I was in danger, I blow the whistle and it would summon Bryce, who was a very high-level assassin rogue monk, and then I would flee. And so I would whistle, sheep, run. I could not remove my hat when outside because ravens would come down and peck my head open if I removed my hat, so I had to keep my commoner's hat on at all times. I forget what the other one was.
It's interesting.
I took the wanted feat to gain bonus skills. So I was extremely wanted man for no reason.
No idea
and
why Ryan would hate this, by the way. No clue.
Not to mention the fact that I never adventured with the party. We would get to a dungeon and everyone's like, all right, we're taking the left branch. We're like, Travis, what are you doing? I'm going straight. I have a whistle. Like,
All right,
I whistle and I'm safe. And so, like, Ryan's like, great, now we have split party. He was like, Travis, what are you doing? I was like, walking. And he was like, are you trying to hide? I'm like, no, absolutely not.
I'm walking and whistling, goddamn.
Yeah, like, he was like, you stumble into a nest of kobolds. I was like, I blow my whistle and rush, and then I just go. And he hated me. And I lived through so many things I should not have. I survived a fireball as a level 20 commoner. I had 2 health. Bryce was not happy because he also got hit with a fireball, but he had more HP than me. But I lived. Nobody's XP farming me. And then I turned into a sheep, which
Jesus.
refilled my HP. Because that's how transformations worked in 3.5. And I ran. I turned into a sheep and I fled. Went down a different branch of the same dungeon. My intelligence score was like a 6.
Oh,
I think my wisdom was like a 10.
Jesus.
My dexterity was an 8.
Did you have any? So
My strength score was a 12.
you took just feats?
My constitution was a 10. Oh yeah, I took a feat every time I leveled up. Like every time I got either ability boost or I poured some into my stats. That's how I had a 12 strength at epic level. Because as a commoner, you only get like a stat adjustment boost like every 10, or not every 10 levels, but like every 8 or something like that. It's very slow, and you have a very narrow window of feats that you could use. I was a hell of a farmer. If they would, if we had ever done like a Stardew Valley campaign, I'd have whooped ass. But
good to know.
we were busy hunting dragons and saving the world, and I was busy causing chaos with Bryce because I would just leave. I just get in trouble and blow my whistle. Bryce would save me.
Oh,
I'm sure
nice.
Bryce also loved you.
Honestly, I got him a whole bunch of solo XP, so it wasn't too bad.
It's always good.
Every once in a while, my whistle actually saved Bryce because I didn't know what was happening with him. I would just be adventuring on my own and whistle him out of a big boss fight. Like,
as the rest of the party
Fuck
gets
everybody else.
killed.
I was fantastic. I was the funniest character for like a month until the epic level campaign ended.
Oh my god. And on that note, real quick, make sure to check us out. All the fancy link things. Yes.
I have one more thing to add for everyone listening. If you ever feel like creating a character that your DM can't like directly say anything against, but is also funny for you, just name your character after the DM, but then put the word "cool" in front of it. So if Eric was DMing a campaign for me, I would just be "Cool Eric."
Dad jokes. But yeah, so check us out. All our stuff constantly updated. I know we've been kind of lacking on episodes and stuff like that, but a lot of stuff going on, and no one gets paid for this. So things will go on, but generally speaking, there's still content that gets uploaded, things like that. I also started putting out all the interviews I've been doing. They're also out there now in audio.
Great. I've been watching those. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them down to like 20 minutes, so if people want to like listen to them on their way to work and shit like that, it kind of works out.
I listen to them at work. That way I drown out the sound of my coworkers speaking to me.
Nice. Scented Realms is doing a lot with Kickstarter right now. They're doing really well. I did an interview with them, and we talked about them before. They're doing the smells in regards to like playing D&D and different things like that. And then we will at some point be doing a review of Survive. It's an interesting game. Yeah, we just got to figure out what planning because of the summer and everybody got stuff going on. So we got the material though, and I'm going to try to get an interview done with the gentleman that had a big hand in creating it. It's really, really interesting. And then we're also doing another critting the Nerdverse. You just got to figure it out. Again, it's summer. Everyone's got a lot going on. So we've
had a series of natural disasters, family emergencies, sicknesses,
and pregnancy and different things. So
I didn't know that you can't get.
I didn't know you were pregnant, Eric. I thought you just got kind of chunky. But
I was gonna say, I mean, currently at the rate I'm going with my man boobs and tummy, you never know.
It's due any day.
Yeah,
it's a race.
I mean, I will win. Anyway, so with that, yeah, anybody wants to reach out, stuff like that, or see a particular episode done, things like that, we're definitely taking any sort of comments, concerns, things of that nature. I don't think there's anything else.
I think that's wraps it up succinctly, and we are at Clark's bedtime because that's the third yawn in less than 30 seconds.
I apparently have forgotten how to breathe because it is not going well over here.
But with that, we need to get Clark to bed before she totally pumpkins on camera. So we're going to bring this episode to the close. My name is Travis. We're crossing the Nerdverse. I was joined by Eric and Clark, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.